There's a question you can ask yourself at any time that will tell you almost everything about where you are right now. Not where you're supposed to be, where you actually are. Most of us never ask it because we don't have a map to deal with the answer. So in the next 12 minutes, I'm giving you one. 5 stages of becoming, drawn from a realm I've been creating for a while now, with practical signs for each one. Which one you're in might surprise you. I'm Heidi. I've moved through more chapters of my own becoming than I expected. Building a boarding kennel from scratch. Long mornings with horses in paddocks I no longer live near. 2 business diplomas in the last couple of years because I never stopped wanting to learn. Each chapter asked something completely different of me. Different energy, different work, different version of who I had to be. I just didn't have a map for any of it. So I started writing one. That writing turned into a realm I called Ember Hollow. The 5 domains inside it are the map I wish someone had given me earlier. Each domain is tied to a creature, and each one carries a different kind of work, the kind a person actually moves through across a lifetime. You don't go up a ladder, you cycle. Most of us pass through all 5, sometimes more than once. So before I walk you through them, here's the only rule. Don't ask which one is best, as none are better than the other. Ask which one is yours, right now. The first domain is the Ember Highlands, the land of the dragons. This is the work of building the will, the discipline domain, the oath domain. You are in the Highlands when you've just been through something that asked too much of you, and you've decided, quietly, often without telling anyone, that you're going to do something differently. You're rebuilding the basic scaffolding. Sleep at a normal hour, eat at a normal time, move your body a little. Keep one tiny promise to yourself per day, just to remember you can. Signs you're here. You're tired of your own chaos. You feel a strange relief in small structure. You're not chasing big goals. You're trying to stop the bleed. What this stage is asking of you, pick one small vow. 1. Write it down. Keep it for a week. The Highlands doesn't need a hero. It needs someone who shows up tomorrow. The second domain is the Silver Meadows. Open grass, low light, the sound of water somewhere. The land of the unicorns, though they're rarer than the stories say, and not what you'd expect. The Meadows is the renewal domain, gentle strength. You are in the meadows when the crisis has passed, but you haven't fully come back to yourself. You're not breaking, but you're not building yet either. You're recovering capacity, quietly choosing what to bring forward and what to leave behind, telling truer truths about who you actually are. Signs you're here. You've started saying no to things you used to say yes to. You crave more time alone than you used to. You're tired of pretending you're fine when you're not. What this stage is asking of you. Stop trying to optimize the recovery. Rest is the work. Renewal is not a hustle. Let the field grow. The third domain is Brightwood Forest, dappled light through tall trees. The land of the fairies, who get a bad reputation in most stories, but in Ember Hollow, they're tricksters in the best sense. They teach play, creativity, reconnection with what makes you laugh. You are in Brightwood when you've stabilized, when you've rested, and you're starting to remember that life was supposed to have some delight in it. You're not in crisis. You're not in recovery. You're in the part most adults skip, the part where you let yourself like things again, for no good reason. Signs you're here. You're picking up old hobbies. You're more interested in a long walk than a productive morning. You're noticing colors again. You're laughing without checking what time it is. What this stage is asking of you: stop earning your joy. Take the bath. Read the novel. Paint the bad painting. Reconnect with the part of you that existed before the adult set in. The fourth domain is Moonstone Valley. Library walls, slow rivers, the land of the moonstone owls, who study what they cannot fix. This is the reflection domain. Wisdom, perspective, the long view. You are in the valley when you've started to step back from the immediate. You're less interested in what to do and more interested in what it means. You're noticing patterns in your own life that took years to surface. You're asking better questions than you used to. Signs you're here. You reread books you read at 25 and notice you didn't understand them yet. You'd rather have one slow conversation than 5 fast ones. You're suspicious of advice that comes too quickly. What this stage is asking of you: sit with it longer than feels productive. Write it down on paper or open your journal. The valley doesn't reward speed. It rewards attention. The fifth domain is Tidesong Cove. Salt air, tide pools, the cliffs where the merfolk surface to listen, though they rarely speak. The cove is the emotional truth domain. Acceptance, release, the grief you didn't get around to. You are in the cove when the wisdom of the valley has run into the limits of thinking. There are things you cannot reason your way out of. Old losses, old wounds, old versions of yourself you're still carrying without knowing it. The cove is where you finally lay them down. Signs you're here. You've started crying for reasons that don't make immediate sense. You're more tender than usual. You feel raw, but somehow lighter underneath the roar. What this stage is asking of you: let it move through you. Don't manage it. Don't fix it. The cove does its work through release, not control. Talk to someone you trust if you need to. This is the slowest domain and the most important. Here's the part nobody tells you. You don't pass through these stages in order. You don't graduate from one to the next. You cycle. Most people move through all 5 throughout a life, sometimes within a year, sometimes within a season. The developmental psychologist Erik Erikson described identity as a cycle, not a ladder, especially in adulthood. The work of being a person is not progress in a straight line. It's returning to the same questions at deeper levels with more honesty each time. So if you're in the highlands now, rebuilding your basic scaffolding, that doesn't mean you've slid backward from somewhere else. It means the season you're in is asking for foundations. Next season may ask for play. The season after that for stillness. The map isn't a hierarchy. It's a diagnostic. And the right domain for you right now is the one that, when you read its name, you felt a small flicker of recognition. That flicker is the signal. Trust it. So tonight, sit with it. The highlands of discipline, the meadows of renewal, the forest of play, the valley of reflection, the cove of emotional truth. Which one are you in right now? You don't have to commit to it forever. You don't even have to be sure. Just notice. Notice what your life is actually asking of you. Not what you wish it were asking. Not what someone on a podcast told you it should be asking. What it actually is. Then meet it there. Don't bring the energy of a different domain to the one you're in. Build in the highlands. Rest in the meadows. Play in the forest. Reflect in the valley. Release in the cove. If this gave you a clearer map than the one you had before, subscribe so we can keep mapping together. I aim for 2 videos a week. My last video walked through what changed when I stopped trying to be disciplined the loud way. It pairs well with the highlands domain. click the video at the top of your screen. And if this resonated and you want a longer version of this work, a free 6-step practice for the days the wheels come off, I've put it together as a guide called the Restart Method. Links in the description below. Until then, seekers, walk gently, be kind, and remember, you are already enough. The best self you seek is already inside you.